Even small amounts of these excitotoxins found in many foods can do great damage to the brains of infants and children.
I get them to totally eliminate the excitotoxic food additives. MSG and aspartame should be, in any civilized society, illegal adulterants in food. They significantly increase oxidative stress in brain and are the very worst thing that I can imagine giving a child with autism.
Many children benefit when undergoing hyperbaric treatment. The child is placed in a chamber where 100% pure pressurized oxygen is circulated.
Come on, we're going in this one. It's like the ocean.
This allows the lungs and the skin to absorb more concentrated oxygen in a short period of time, reducing inflammation and improving immune function.
I pictured it like an igloo. And when I saw how small it was, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to get in here. And they zip it up. It almost became an adventure. We call it the spaceship, and he says, oh, are we going on the spaceship today? And we'll, get our little portable DVD player and we'll get in there and we'll just relax for an hour. And it's really just kind of fun. The improvement has been really incredible. He started a lot more with the W questions, which is a big thing, like what is this, where is this, who's this, who works there? And not to forget that my son is only 3.5, so he really is on target with his age range.
So these treatment strategies, they all tell us that the things that can work in some kids with autism, and it's really, unfortunately, not all kids, but a substantial number, and it's an important clue about the disease. If some kids get better when you do this, you've got to pay attention. You have to say, okay, what is the biochemistry that's helping them?
So basically, heal the gut, deal with the inflammation, and basically get the methylation, transsulfuration, detoxification pathways in order. And if you just do those three things without getting fancy with everything else, at least 80%, if not more, of these children will make some progress, if not a tremendous amount.
Gotta get it ready to drive, give it a car wash.
These children have unique issues and biological makeups. Their paths to recovery may involve heartbreak and defeat in achieving even the smallest victories. But as evidenced by the stories the families told here, there is much reason for hope.
Okay, I think we're done. What do you think?
Not better yet.
It's not?
Hold on.
What else do we have to spray? Looks good to me.
Until we get the science really directly connected to the parents in some method where we actually take the kids' data, it's coming from them, through science, and gets to the pediatrician that goes, oh, okay, these kids really do have gut issues, and here are the 10 ways that actually work for the kids that we've seen, and they seem to be safe and effective. Okay, that takes intention to learn it, process it through science, publish it, and enforce to others that it actually is true.
Doctors need to teach other doctors how to be more sensitive, and certainly those of us who see large numbers of kids have gotten smarter over the years. When I started seeing this population of children, I was pretty young, out of training. I started seeing kids in the early 1990s, and there was no one to teach me how to look at these children and think about them, and so I had to develop my own sort of intuition about what these children might be saying. But I think every doc, every pediatrician, and every specialist who has to deal with these children has to go through that same evolution and learn what to do to communicate with this group of children.
Can I have that? No? Okay.
As a development pediatrician, if I see a new patient, for example, a 4-year-old who's completely nonverbal with autism, if I write a prescription for Risperdal, an antipsychotic that increases their chance for morbid obesity and diabetes, I'm considered mainstream medicine. But if I use B12, do lab tests, figure out their personal metabolic profile, and use nutrients to heal them, I'm considered alternative. I just think the paradigm has to change. We're dealing with such a huge problem right now.
Hopefully the DVD player works, right?
The current recommendation by the American Academy of Pediatrics is if they have autistic-like symptoms at age 1, they should give them psychiatric drugs. very bad recommendation. None of those drugs are shown to work on autism. None of them are approved for children. And not only that, it's hard to tell at age 1. You can pick up some things, but a lot of the kids that you treat would not have become autistic, and you may damage them by giving them all these psychiatric drugs. So we wait to make sure that we have somebody that's real. But I think you can ameliorate it, but some of the damage is done. The brain forms heavily around 28 weeks, and some of that damage is done. We need to stop doing that as well.
And I think as great as he is, and as far as he has come, I will never know, we will never know the true potential that he actually had. Because I don't think you can kill that many neurons. And I mean, we're always doing something, and I'm always hoping for more and more, and I'll always keep working with him. But it was stolen from us.
I think one of the challenges of the world is to believe recovery is real when there's such a spectrum of realities in recovery. My child is recovered. What does that mean? Is he 100% recovered? Is he, I can't even answer that for my own child because I don't know what he would have been if he wasn't run over by the autism bus.
My pinwheel is working!
We have this one patient who was so severely autistic. He had so many sensory issues that he could not leave the home. The light would bother him, the sound would bother him, driving in the car would bother him. He was 4 years old and he had never had a birthday party because he couldn't stand being around other children. He started on the biomedical approach with nutrient therapies. We cleaned up his diet, casein-free, gluten-free diet. We worked on reestablishing good mineral levels. He was extremely zinc deficient. Now this process takes a while. It took about 2 or 3 years. But now this particular child is in 3rd grade. He's in a mainstream classroom. His teachers never knew he had a diagnosis of autism in the past. The parents haven't even told the school system. He gets no extra school support, and he's thriving. The parents took this particular child back to the Chicago hospital for reevaluation, and they told the parents that he must have been misdiagnosed, that he never had autism in the first place. But they were the ones that diagnosed him.
I've had many patients have their child completely lose the diagnosis, go to mainstream schools, and the teachers don't even know that the child ever had autism. But when they go back to their pediatricians or neurologists, they basically are almost always told it was a spontaneous remission or it was just going to happen anyhow. And the interesting part is it seems that those of us who do what I do have a lot of spontaneous remissions, and if that's what it takes, a lot of spontaneous remissions, fine. I love it because we'll collect them.
The psychiatrist called up to say, I don't know what happened to this child, but whatever happened, it was wonderful. I mean, they see the improvement tremendously. In fact, that child was too bad to get into their school originally. I wrote a letter saying, check him again now that we're treating him. They let him in, and now they're putting him in their advanced high school class. That's the kind of thing that we see.
My favorite shake is bananas, blueberries, rice milk. I mix everything together with green stuff and red stuff. No wheat, no dairy. I like it because it tastes good.
We've done everything 100% natural, and he lost his diagnosis about a year ago. He was getting speech OT and ABA, and the teacher kicked him out. She said, Wanda, you're done, good job. And said he's recovered, he no longer can fit this diagnosis, and is mainstream school, academically gifted, and a quite social child.
We know in autism from published study now that children with fever have recession of symptoms of autism. And that's very, very promising. It means that it's wounded but not broken.
it's crazy because you want to be so excited and like rejoice and be so happy because I have these two, recovered boys. But then to have Jackson,